Welcome back, everyone. Today we are diving into a fascinating short drama called Off the Heiress Returns. If you enjoy stories filled with hidden identities, emotional betrayals, powerful comebacks, family conflicts, and unexpected twists, then this drama has everything you could ask for. At first, it may seem like a familiar romance, but as the story unfolds, it reveals a much deeper journey about courage, self-respect, and proving your true worth. Every episode introduces a new surprise, making it almost impossible to stop watching once the story begins. The drama centers around a young woman whose life is surrounded by secrets. Although she comes from one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the country, almost no one around her knows the truth. Instead of enjoying the luxurious life that naturally belongs to her, she chooses to hide her background and live as an ordinary woman. She wants people to value her for who she is rather than for her family's name or fortune. Unfortunately, the decision to keep her identity hidden also exposes her to endless misunderstandings, unfair treatment, and painful humiliation. From the very beginning, it becomes clear that many people underestimate her. They see only a quiet and gentle young woman, believing she has no influence or power. Because of this, she is constantly looked down upon by those who judge people based on wealth and social status. Some openly insult her, while others try to manipulate her, convinced that she has no one to protect her. Despite everything she experiences, she refuses to respond with anger or hatred. Instead, she remains calm, patient, and determined, silently waiting for the right moment to change her fate. One of the most impressive qualities of the main character is her emotional strength. Instead of allowing every insult to break her confidence, she treats each difficult experience as another lesson that makes her stronger. She understands that true power is not measured by how loudly someone speaks or how much money they display. Real strength comes from self-control, wisdom, and the courage to stand firm even when everyone else doubts you. This quiet confidence becomes the foundation of her incredible transformation later in the story. As the plot develops, viewers slowly begin to understand that her hidden identity is connected to far more than family wealth. Behind the elegant reputation of her family lies a complicated history filled with old rivalries, personal sacrifices, and dangerous secrets. Powerful business competitors are constantly searching for opportunities to weaken her family, while even some relatives have their own selfish ambitions. The peaceful image presented to the public hides years of unresolved conflict, making every decision increasingly dangerous. Meanwhile, her personal relationships become equally complicated. Some people approach her with kindness, believing she is simply an ordinary woman struggling through life. Others only pretend to care, hoping to gain something for themselves. This creates an emotional atmosphere where trust becomes one of the hardest things to find. Every new friendship raises an important question: who is genuinely loyal, and who is simply wearing a mask? Romance naturally finds its place within this complicated world. The male lead enters the story with his own ambitions, responsibilities, and misunderstandings. Their first encounters are far from perfect, filled with awkward moments, disagreements, and incorrect assumptions about each other. Yet beneath those misunderstandings lies a quiet respect that slowly begins to grow. Rather than relying only on dramatic love scenes, the story carefully builds their relationship through shared challenges, mutual support, and emotional growth. However, love is not the main focus of the drama. Instead, it serves as one part of a much larger journey. The true heart of the story is watching a woman reclaim control over her own life. She refuses to let cruel opinions define her future. Every setback becomes another opportunity to prove that character matters far more than appearance, reputation, or temporary success. As the episodes continue, the pressure surrounding her becomes even greater. More people begin questioning her decisions, while hidden enemies quietly prepare new schemes against her. Rumors spread quickly, creating misunderstandings that threaten both her personal happiness and her family's reputation. Yet instead of panicking, she carefully studies every situation before making her next move. Her intelligence gradually becomes her greatest weapon, allowing her to outsmart those who believed she would remain powerless forever. The drama also does an excellent job of showing the contrast between genuine confidence and empty arrogance. Many of the characters who appear powerful at first are actually driven by insecurity, jealousy, and greed. They rely on intimidation because they fear losing control. In contrast, the heroine never needs to prove her importance through expensive clothes or public displays of wealth. Her actions speak much louder than any title ever could. The luxurious settings, elegant fashion, and modern business world provide an attractive backdrop throughout the series. Beautiful mansions, stylish offices, glamorous events, and high-profile gatherings create a visually impressive atmosphere that reflects the influence of the powerful families involved. At the same time, these luxurious surroundings remind viewers that money alone cannot guarantee trust, loyalty, or happiness. Behind every beautiful appearance lies another hidden conflict waiting to be revealed. One of the biggest strengths of the drama is its pacing. Every episode introduces a fresh mystery, emotional confrontation, or surprising revelation that keeps viewers curious about what will happen next. Just when it seems the heroine has finally found peace, another unexpected obstacle appears, forcing her to make even more difficult choices. This constant momentum keeps the story engaging without feeling repetitive. As the first chapter of this journey comes to an end, one thing becomes perfectly clear. The quiet young woman everyone once ignored is far more extraordinary than anyone realizes. The people who underestimated her are slowly moving toward a shocking discovery that will completely change their opinions forever. Her hidden identity cannot remain secret forever, and when the truth finally begins to surface, the balance of power will shift in ways no one expects. This is only the beginning of a story filled with emotional betrayals, unexpected alliances, family rivalries, and inspiring personal growth. The road ahead promises difficult decisions, painful sacrifices, and unforgettable revelations. With every challenge she faces, the heroine moves one step closer to proving that true greatness is earned through courage, integrity, and determination, not through the opinions of others. And as her remarkable journey continues, everyone who once dismissed her will soon discover exactly who she really is. As the story moves forward, the heroine realizes that staying silent will no longer protect her. For a long time, she believed that patience could solve every problem, but the people around her mistake her kindness for weakness. Every insult, every false accusation, and every attempt to push her aside slowly becomes another reason for her to stand up for herself. She does not want revenge simply to hurt those who wronged her. Instead, she wants the truth to come out so that everyone can finally see who she really is. At the same time, the conflict inside her family begins to grow more complicated. Although the family appears united in public, hidden disagreements are quietly creating deep divisions behind closed doors. Some relatives genuinely care about protecting the family's reputation, while others are more interested in gaining power and control. These personal ambitions create an atmosphere where trust becomes extremely rare. Every conversation feels like a careful negotiation because no one knows who might secretly be working against them. Outside the family, the business world becomes another battlefield. Several powerful companies are competing for influence, and every important project carries enormous financial consequences. Rumors spread quickly, alliances change overnight, and even small mistakes can destroy years of hard work. The heroine soon realizes that success is not only about intelligence. It also requires patience, careful planning, and the ability to remain calm under constant pressure. Many people still believe she is inexperienced and incapable of making important decisions. They underestimate her simply because she never tries to show off her background or wealth. Instead of arguing with them, she quietly studies every situation, learning how each person thinks and what motivates them. This careful observation gives her an advantage that no one expects. While others rely on status and influence, she relies on strategy and preparation. The male lead also finds himself caught between loyalty and responsibility. At first, he struggles to understand the heroine's true personality because she rarely reveals her real emotions. He often hears negative opinions about her from people who want to damage her reputation. Like many others, he initially believes only part of the story. However, as they spend more time together, he begins noticing the difference between rumors and reality. He watches how she treats employees with respect, helps strangers without expecting anything in return, and remains composed even when facing humiliation. These small moments slowly change his opinion. Instead of seeing a quiet woman hiding in the background, he begins to recognize someone with remarkable courage and determination. Their relationship develops naturally through mutual understanding rather than dramatic declarations of love. Meanwhile, the heroine faces another serious challenge when one of her biggest opponents launches a carefully planned scheme against her. False information begins circulating, damaging her reputation both personally and professionally. Many people are quick to believe the accusations because they never knew her true identity. Overnight, she becomes the center of gossip and public criticism. Despite the growing pressure, she refuses to panic. She carefully collects evidence, uncovers hidden connections, and patiently waits for the perfect opportunity to reveal the truth. Rather than responding emotionally, she focuses on facts. This thoughtful approach surprises everyone because her enemies expected her to lose control. Instead, they find themselves slowly trapped by the very lies they created. One of the drama's strongest themes is that genuine confidence never needs loud words. The heroine proves herself through actions instead of empty promises. Every obstacle she overcomes strengthens not only her own character, but also the respect others gradually develop for her. Even those who once ignored her begin questioning whether they judged her too quickly. The supporting characters also make the story far more interesting. Some become trusted allies who encourage her during difficult moments, while others continue creating obstacles at every opportunity. Their different personalities add emotional variety, ensuring that every episode introduces fresh conflicts and unexpected surprises. No relationship remains completely simple, and every character has personal motivations that influence the overall story. The luxurious world surrounding the main characters continues to impress throughout the series. Elegant mansions, modern offices, expensive events, and stylish fashion create an atmosphere filled with wealth and influence. However, beneath this glamorous appearance lies constant competition, hidden jealousy, and emotional loneliness. The drama reminds viewers that material success cannot replace honesty, loyalty, or genuine human connection. Another reason the story remains engaging is its excellent pacing. Just when one mystery appears solved, another unexpected revelation changes everything. Long-hidden secrets slowly come to light, forcing every major character to reconsider the choices they have made. These continuous twists prevent the story from becoming predictable and keep viewers curious about what will happen next. As pressure continues building from every direction, the heroine understands that hiding forever is no longer possible. The time is approaching when she will finally reveal the identity she has protected for so long. She knows that once the truth becomes public, many lives will change forever. Some people will finally understand how deeply they misunderstood her, while others will desperately try to repair the damage they caused. The final moments of this chapter leave viewers with an important question. Will the people who betrayed her sincerely regret their actions once they discover the truth? Or will their desire for power push them into making even bigger mistakes? Whatever happens next, one thing is already certain. The quiet young woman everyone underestimated is steadily becoming the strongest person in the room. Her journey is no longer about surviving difficult circumstances. It is about proving that dignity, intelligence, and determination will always outshine arrogance and deception. With even greater challenges waiting ahead, her remarkable story is only beginning to reveal its true depth. The story enters an even more intense phase as the heroine begins taking careful steps toward revealing the truth. She knows that exposing her real identity too early could put both herself and the people she cares about in danger. For that reason, she continues acting as though she is nothing more than an ordinary young woman, allowing her enemies to believe they still have complete control over the situation. What they fail to realize is that every insult they throw at her only gives her more determination to succeed. Behind the scenes, important events are unfolding inside the powerful Aries family. Senior family members have started noticing unusual business activities and suspicious financial decisions that could threaten everything they have built over the years. While some relatives are working hard to protect the family's legacy, others secretly see the growing confusion as an opportunity to increase their own influence. The struggle is no longer just about money. It has become a battle for trust, leadership, and the future of the family itself. The heroine quietly gathers information without attracting attention. She studies business records, listens carefully during important meetings, and pays close attention to conversations that most people ignore. Her calm personality allows others to underestimate her, making it easier for her to discover secrets that would normally remain hidden. Piece by piece, she begins connecting events that seemed completely unrelated, slowly uncovering a much larger conspiracy than she ever expected. At the same time, the relationship between the two main characters continues to evolve. The male lead becomes increasingly impressed by her ability to remain calm under pressure. He notices that she never reacts out of anger, even when she has every reason to do so. Instead, she responds with patience and intelligence, qualities that make her stand out from everyone else around her. Although he still doesn't know her biggest secret, he begins trusting her judgment more than ever before. Their growing partnership proves valuable as new challenges appear. Together, they face difficult situations that test both their confidence and their loyalty. Instead of relying on dramatic misunderstandings, the story allows their connection to develop through teamwork and mutual respect. Each obstacle they overcome strengthens the bond between them, creating a relationship based on trust rather than appearances. Meanwhile, one of the family's biggest rivals decides to launch an aggressive campaign against the Aries group. False rumors spread through the business community, causing uncertainty among investors and partners. Several important projects are suddenly placed at risk, and many people begin questioning whether the family can maintain its position. Those responsible believe the confusion will force the family into making costly mistakes. The heroine refuses to let panic influence her decisions. She carefully examines every accusation before responding and quickly notices inconsistencies that others fail to recognize. Instead of reacting emotionally, she focuses on collecting evidence that will expose the people manipulating events from the shadows. Her strategic thinking once again proves to be one of her greatest strengths. As more hidden truths begin coming to light, several supporting characters reveal surprising sides of their personalities. Some individuals who once appeared selfish unexpectedly choose to help during difficult moments, while others who seemed trustworthy expose their true intentions. These changing relationships make the story increasingly unpredictable because viewers can never be completely certain who deserves confidence and who is simply pretending to be loyal. The drama also explores the emotional burden carried by the heroine. Although she appears strong on the outside, living behind a false identity has never been easy. Every day, she must hide her real feelings, carefully choosing her words and actions to avoid revealing the truth. This constant pressure reminds viewers that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep moving forward despite it. Visually, the series continues to create an atmosphere of elegance and power. Luxury hotels, corporate boardrooms, formal celebrations, and impressive family estates reflect the influence of the world's elite. Yet these beautiful surroundings also highlight the loneliness experienced by many of the characters. Wealth may provide comfort, but it cannot guarantee honesty or genuine affection. The pacing remains one of the drama's strongest qualities. Every episode introduces another conflict, another unexpected discovery, or another emotional confrontation that pushes the story forward. Rather than allowing the plot to slow down, each revelation opens the door to an even bigger mystery. Viewers constantly feel that something significant is waiting just around the corner. As the pressure surrounding the heroine continues to increase, her enemies grow more desperate. They realize their original plans are no longer working, so they begin taking greater risks in an attempt to stop her. However, every reckless move they make creates new opportunities for the truth to surface. Without realizing it, they slowly expose their own weaknesses. By the end of this chapter, it becomes clear that the balance of power is beginning to shift. The people who once believed they controlled every situation are slowly losing their advantage, while the quiet young woman they ignored continues moving closer to her ultimate goal. Her journey is no longer simply about protecting her identity. It has become a mission to restore justice, defend her family's honor, and prove that true strength comes from wisdom, resilience, and unwavering determination. With even greater secrets waiting to be uncovered, the story promises that the biggest surprises are still yet to come. The story becomes even more gripping as the heroine realizes that the moment she has been preparing for is finally approaching. For a long time, she remained silent, carefully observing every move made by her enemies. Now she understands that the truth can no longer stay hidden forever. Every piece of evidence she has collected is slowly coming together, forming a complete picture of the conspiracy that has affected both her personal life and her family's future. Inside the Aries family, tension reaches a new level. The senior members gather for an important meeting to discuss the company's declining reputation and the increasing pressure from business rivals. Everyone has a different opinion about how to solve the crisis. Some believe they should negotiate with their competitors, while others insist on taking immediate legal action. Unknown to most of them, the real danger is not coming from outside the family, but from someone secretly working within it. The heroine quietly attends these discussions without revealing everything she knows. She carefully watches the reactions of each family member, paying close attention to small details that others overlook. A nervous expression, an unexpected question, or a sudden change in attitude tells her far more than words ever could. She realizes that the person responsible for many recent problems has been hiding in plain sight all along. Meanwhile, the male lead becomes increasingly involved in the investigation. Having witnessed the heroine's honesty and intelligence on several occasions, he no longer believes the rumors spread about her. Instead, he chooses to stand beside her, even though doing so could damage his own reputation. Their growing trust becomes one of the strongest emotional elements of the story, showing that genuine respect is built through actions rather than promises. As they begin working together more closely, they uncover financial records that point toward a carefully organized scheme. Large amounts of money have disappeared through fake business contracts, and confidential company information has somehow reached rival corporations. At first, the evidence appears confusing, but the heroine patiently connects every clue until the hidden pattern finally becomes visible. The people responsible for the fraud soon realize someone is getting dangerously close to exposing them. Fearing that their secrets will soon be revealed, they become desperate. Instead of admitting defeat, they create an even bigger trap designed to destroy the heroine's credibility once and for all. False accusations spread rapidly through social media, business circles, and public events, making it seem as though she is responsible for the company's recent failures. For a brief moment, it appears that everything she has worked for may collapse. Friends begin questioning her decisions, business partners hesitate to support her, and even some family members wonder whether the accusations could be true. Despite facing overwhelming pressure, she refuses to lose confidence. She understands that panic only benefits those who create lies. Remaining calm becomes her greatest advantage. Rather than defending herself with emotional speeches, she quietly prepares undeniable proof. Every document, every witness, and every recorded conversation is carefully organized. She knows that exposing the truth requires perfect timing. Revealing the evidence too early could allow the real criminals to escape, so she patiently waits until they become completely confident in their own success. While these events unfold, the emotional connection between the two main characters continues to deepen. The male lead admires her ability to remain kind despite everything she has suffered. He realizes that true strength is not found in anger or revenge, but in choosing fairness even when life feels deeply unfair. Their conversations become more open, allowing both characters to understand each other's fears, hopes, and dreams. The supporting characters also experience important changes. Some finally recognize their previous mistakes and attempt to earn forgiveness, while others continue following their selfish ambitions. These shifting alliances create constant uncertainty, making every new episode feel fresh and unpredictable. The audience is never completely sure who will become an ally and who will betray everyone for personal gain. The luxurious atmosphere of the series remains visually impressive. Elegant charity galas, exclusive business conferences, private family estates, and beautifully designed corporate offices provide the perfect setting for the growing conflict. Behind every glamorous event, however, another hidden confrontation quietly unfolds, proving once again that appearances can often be deceiving. One of the most satisfying aspects of this chapter is watching the heroine's confidence continue to grow. She no longer doubts her own abilities or allows cruel opinions to define her future. Every challenge strengthens her determination, transforming her into a leader capable of protecting both herself and the people she loves. Her journey becomes an inspiring reminder that real confidence comes from experience, resilience, and integrity rather than wealth or social status. As the chapter reaches its conclusion, the long-awaited confrontation draws closer. The people responsible for the conspiracy believe they are only one step away from victory, completely unaware that the heroine has already uncovered nearly every detail of their plan. What they consider their greatest triumph is actually becoming the beginning of their downfall. The final scene leaves viewers with a powerful sense of anticipation. The truth is now closer than ever to being revealed, and the carefully protected secret surrounding the heroine's real identity can no longer remain hidden. When that moment finally arrives, the balance of power will change forever. Those who once mocked and underestimated her will be forced to face the consequences of their actions, while the woman they ignored will finally step into the position she was always destined to hold. The atmosphere becomes increasingly tense as the heroine realizes that the decisive moment is finally approaching. For weeks, she has quietly collected evidence, observed suspicious behavior, and uncovered secrets that many powerful people desperately wanted to keep hidden. Now she understands that every decision she makes will have lasting consequences. One careless move could destroy everything she has worked so hard to protect, but remaining silent is no longer an option. Inside the Aries family, uncertainty continues to spread. Although everyone shares the same family name, their goals are far from united. Some members genuinely want to restore peace and protect the company's future, while others are driven by personal ambition and greed. Long-buried disagreements begin resurfacing, creating an atmosphere where every conversation feels filled with hidden meaning. The heroine watches these developments carefully, knowing that the greatest threat often comes from those standing closest. At the same time, the business rivalry grows even more intense. Competitors begin launching aggressive campaigns to weaken the family's reputation. Important investors receive misleading information, confidential documents mysteriously disappear, and several major projects suddenly face unexpected delays. To outsiders, these events appear to be simple bad luck. However, the heroine recognizes a carefully planned strategy designed to create confusion before delivering a final blow. Rather than reacting emotionally, she calmly analyzes every detail. She notices connections that others completely overlook, linking separate incidents into one coordinated operation. Her ability to remain focused under pressure once again proves to be her greatest strength. While others waste time blaming one another, she quietly moves closer to discovering the person responsible for orchestrating the entire conspiracy. Meanwhile, the male lead continues earning her trust through his actions. Instead of believing rumors or making quick judgments, he chooses to stand beside her even when doing so places him in a difficult position. Together, they begin reviewing financial records, company reports, and private communications, gradually uncovering evidence that points towards someone with access to the family's most confidential information. The realization is deeply unsettling because it suggests that betrayal has been growing from within for a long time. As their investigation continues, unexpected allies begin appearing. Individuals who once remained silent finally decide to speak, providing valuable information that confirms many of the heroine's suspicions. These witnesses have spent years fearing powerful people, but inspired by her courage, they finally choose honesty over fear. Their testimonies strengthen the case and make it increasingly difficult for the real culprits to hide behind false appearances. The emotional side of the story also becomes more powerful. The heroine reflects on everything she has endured since choosing to hide her true identity. She remembers the humiliation, the loneliness, and the countless moments when she questioned whether remaining silent had been the right decision. Despite those painful memories, she refuses to let bitterness define her future. Instead of seeking revenge for personal satisfaction, she focuses on restoring justice and protecting innocent people from experiencing the same suffering. The drama continues, reminding viewers that appearances can be deceiving. Characters who once seemed trustworthy begin revealing selfish motivations, while individuals who appeared insignificant unexpectedly become essential to uncovering the truth. These changing relationships create constant suspense because every new revelation completely changes the audience's understanding of previous events. Visually, the story maintains its elegant style through luxurious locations, high-profile business gatherings, formal family celebrations, and beautifully designed corporate headquarters. Yet beneath every glamorous event lies another emotional confrontation waiting to unfold. The contrast between outward success and hidden conflict gives the drama much of its emotional depth, showing that wealth cannot erase dishonesty, jealousy, or regret. As the heroine gathers enough evidence, she begins preparing for a public confrontation. Rather than exposing everything immediately, she carefully plans each step, ensuring that every accusation will be supported by undeniable proof. She understands that powerful people often escape responsibility because others fail to present clear evidence. Determined not to make the same mistake, she patiently waits until every detail has been verified. Her enemies, meanwhile, become dangerously overconfident. Believing they have already secured victory, they stop hiding many of their actions. Their arrogance leads them to make careless mistakes, unknowingly providing the heroine with exactly the proof she needs. Every attempt to destroy her reputation slowly turns into another piece of evidence against them. The relationship between the two main characters continues growing stronger through shared trust and mutual respect. Neither relies on dramatic promises or unrealistic romance. Instead, their bond develops naturally as they support each other through difficult situations. Their partnership becomes one of the emotional foundations of the story, proving that genuine love is built on honesty, loyalty, and understanding rather than appearances or social status. As this chapter approaches its conclusion, anticipation reaches its highest point yet. The heroine is finally ready to reveal not only the truth behind the conspiracy, but also the identity she has hidden for so long. She knows that once the secret becomes public, nothing will ever return to the way it was before. Friends will discover who she truly is. Enemies will lose the advantage they once enjoyed, and those who underestimated her will be forced to confront the consequences of their own actions. The final moments leave viewers eager for what comes next. The stage has been set for a dramatic turning point where hidden identities, family loyalty, and long-buried secrets will collide. With confidence replacing fear and truth replacing deception, the heroine stands stronger than ever before, ready to face the challenges that await. Her remarkable journey is no longer about proving her worth to others. It is about embracing her true identity and shaping her own future on her own terms. As the story reaches another turning point, the heroine finally feels that every sacrifice she has made is beginning to pay off. For a long time, she was forced to hide her true identity, tolerate endless humiliation, and watch others underestimate her without defending herself. Now the situation is slowly changing. The truth is becoming impossible to hide, and the people who once believed they controlled everything are starting to lose their confidence. The investigation into the conspiracy enters its most important stage. Together with her trusted allies, the heroine reviews every document, financial record, and conversation that has taken place over the past several months. What once appeared to be a collection of unrelated incidents now forms a clear pattern. Every betrayal, every false accusation, and every suspicious business decision points toward a carefully organized plan designed to remove the Heiress family from power. Inside the company, tension reaches its highest level. Employees notice that senior executives are behaving differently. Important meetings are held behind closed doors, and rumors spread throughout every department. Some workers fear the business may collapse, while others quietly wait to see who will emerge as the true leader once the conflict is over. The atmosphere is filled with uncertainty, making even ordinary conversations feel significant. The heroine understands that leadership is tested most during difficult times. Instead of allowing fear to influence her decisions, she remains calm and focused. She spends time listening to employees, encouraging loyal supporters, and reassuring those who have become anxious about the company's future. Her ability to inspire confidence without making unrealistic promises gradually earns the respect of people who previously doubted her abilities. Meanwhile, the male lead faces an important personal decision. He realizes that supporting the heroine openly may place his own career and reputation at risk. Powerful individuals warn him to stay away from her, claiming she will soon lose everything she has worked for. Despite these warnings, he refuses to abandon someone he knows is fighting for justice. His loyalty becomes one of the strongest examples of trust shown throughout the story. As their partnership grows stronger, they uncover one final piece of evidence capable of exposing the mastermind behind the conspiracy. The discovery confirms that someone close to the family has been secretly cooperating with business rivals for years, leaking confidential information in exchange for personal wealth and influence. The betrayal is even more painful because it comes from someone everyone believed could be trusted. Rather than confronting the traitor immediately, the heroine develops a careful strategy. She knows that exposing the truth without preparation could allow the guilty parties to escape responsibility. Instead, she patiently creates a situation where every person involved will reveal their own actions publicly. Her intelligence once again proves far more powerful than anger or revenge. The emotional impact of the story becomes even stronger as several supporting characters begin reflecting on their own mistakes. Some admit they judged the heroine unfairly simply because they believed false rumors. Others realize they remained silent when they should have spoken the truth. These moments of regret add emotional depth to the drama, reminding viewers that silence can sometimes cause as much damage as dishonesty itself. At the same time, family relationships continue evolving. Members who once argued constantly begin setting aside personal differences after recognizing the seriousness of the situation. Although complete trust cannot be restored overnight, they slowly understand that protecting the family's future requires unity rather than endless conflict. Watching these relationships heal gives the story an emotional balance alongside its suspenseful business drama. The luxurious visual style remains one of the drama's greatest strengths. Elegant boardrooms, exclusive charity events, grand family residences, and sophisticated fashion continue creating an atmosphere of prestige and influence. However, beneath this glamorous surface lies a constant reminder that true character cannot be measured by wealth alone. Honesty, loyalty, and courage remain far more valuable than status or expensive possessions. As the final phase of the investigation begins, the heroine prepares for the moment she has imagined for so long. Every document has been verified, every witness is ready, and every secret has been carefully uncovered. She no longer fears what others may think because she knows the truth will soon speak louder than any accusation ever could. Her enemies, meanwhile, grow increasingly desperate. Realizing that their carefully planned schemes are beginning to fail, they make reckless decisions in an attempt to regain control. Unfortunately for them, every desperate move only creates more evidence of their wrongdoing. Their confidence slowly disappears as they realize the woman they once considered powerless has completely turned the situation in her favor. The relationship between the two main characters also reaches a new level of understanding. Without needing dramatic confessions or exaggerated romance, they demonstrate genuine affection through trust, sacrifice, and unwavering support. They have faced countless obstacles together, and those shared experiences have created a bond that feels authentic and deeply earned. As this chapter comes to an end, anticipation reaches its peak. The heroine stands only moments away from revealing both the conspiracy and her true identity before everyone who once doubted her. The people responsible for years of deception believe they still have one final opportunity to escape, but they have no idea that every path leading away from the truth has already been closed. The closing moments leave viewers eagerly waiting for the next chapter. Justice is finally within reach, hidden identities are about to be exposed, and years of betrayal are preparing to collide with undeniable truth. The quiet young woman who once endured endless humiliation now stands stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. Her journey proves that patience, intelligence, and integrity can overcome even the most carefully planned deception, and the greatest revelation of all is still waiting just ahead. The story now reaches one of its most emotional and suspenseful stages. After spending so much time uncovering secrets and gathering evidence, the heroine knows there is no turning back. Every decision she makes from this point onward will determine not only her own future, but also the future of the powerful family whose identity she has protected for so long. The quiet observer who once accepted every insult has now become the person everyone is watching. A major board meeting is announced, bringing together family members, senior executives, trusted advisors, and important business partners. To most people, it appears to be an ordinary corporate gathering, but the heroine knows it will become the stage where years of deception finally come to an end. She arrives with complete confidence, carrying documents that can expose the truth once and for all. Unlike before, she no longer hides behind fear or uncertainty. She walks into the room knowing she has earned her place there. The individuals responsible for manipulating the company still believe they have the upper hand. They confidently present false reports, blame innocent employees for recent failures, and attempt to shift everyone's attention away from their own actions. For a short time, it seems as though their plan is succeeding. Several people begin questioning the heroine once again, wondering why she continues challenging individuals with so much influence. Instead of reacting immediately, she allows every dishonest statement to be made. She understands that exposing a lie becomes much easier when the liar has already committed to the story. Once everyone has finished speaking, she calmly stands up and begins presenting the evidence she has collected over the past several months. One document after another reveals hidden financial transactions, secret agreements, and private communications that directly connect the guilty individuals to the conspiracy. The atmosphere inside the meeting room changes almost instantly. Confidence turns into panic as the people responsible realize there is no way to deny the facts. Every attempt to defend themselves only creates more questions, while every answer they provide contradicts the evidence already displayed before everyone. The silence that follows becomes even more powerful than the accusations themselves. At that very moment, another long-hidden secret is finally revealed. The heroine no longer sees any reason to conceal who she truly is. She openly confirms her connection to the influential Aries family, leaving everyone in complete shock. Many people who once dismissed her as unimportant suddenly realize they had been speaking to one of the rightful heirs all along. The revelation completely transforms the balance of power inside the room. Several family members are overcome with guilt. They remember every unfair judgment, every harsh word, and every opportunity they ignored to support her. Looking back, they realize she never once used her family name to gain special treatment. Instead, she quietly earned respect through intelligence, patience, and unwavering determination. Their regret becomes one of the story's most emotional moments. The male lead watches everything unfold with pride rather than surprise. Over time, he had already learned to trust her character instead of believing public opinion. Although he never fully understood the truth behind her mysterious past, he always believed she possessed extraordinary strength. Seeing her finally receive the recognition she deserves confirms everything he admired about her from the very beginning. Outside the company, news of the dramatic meeting spreads rapidly. Business partners who had distanced themselves begin returning, investors regain confidence, and employees once again feel hopeful about the future. The reputation of the Aries family slowly begins recovering as the truth replaces months of damaging rumors and misinformation. Not everyone accepts defeat so easily. A few remaining enemies attempt one final effort to avoid responsibility by blaming each other for the conspiracy. Their partnerships quickly fall apart as fear replaces loyalty. People who once worked together now desperately try to protect themselves, exposing even more hidden details about their illegal activities. In the end, their own dishonesty becomes the reason for their complete downfall. The emotional focus of the story now shifts toward healing instead of conflict. Family members begin rebuilding broken relationships through honest conversations and sincere apologies. Although forgiveness does not happen instantly, there is finally hope that years of misunderstanding can be replaced with trust and mutual respect. The heroine accepts these changes with maturity, understanding that genuine reconciliation requires time. The relationship between the two main characters also grows stronger. They have survived countless misunderstandings, dangerous situations, and emotional challenges together. Their connection is no longer based on first impressions or hidden identities, but on genuine respect and unwavering support. Without needing extravagant declarations, their actions clearly demonstrate how deeply they care for one another. As this chapter approaches its conclusion, the heroine takes a quiet moment to reflect on her incredible journey. She remembers the days when she stood completely alone, carrying the burden of her secret while enduring endless humiliation. Looking at how far she has come, she realizes every painful experience helped shape the person she has become. Her greatest victory is not simply revealing her identity, but proving that kindness, intelligence, and resilience are stronger than arrogance and deception. The closing scenes prepare viewers for the final chapter of the story. Although justice has finally begun to prevail, a few important questions still remain unanswered. The future of the family, the final consequences for those responsible, and the heroine's next chapter in life are all waiting to be revealed. With confidence replacing fear and truth replacing lies, she now stands ready to embrace a future she no longer has to hide from. The final chapter promises to bring an emotional conclusion worthy of the remarkable journey she has completed. The final chapter begins with an atmosphere filled with both relief and uncertainty. After exposing the conspiracy and revealing her true identity, the heroine finally stands where she always belonged. The people who once dismissed her now look at her with admiration and respect, but she understands that restoring trust is a much longer journey than simply proving the truth. Winning a single battle does not erase years of misunderstanding, and she knows that true leadership is measured by what happens after the victory. The shocking revelations from the previous chapter continue spreading throughout the business world. News of the hidden conspiracy reaches investors, business partners, and influential families who had been closely watching the situation. Many people who once believed the false rumors publicly admit that they misjudged the heroine. Others quietly regret allowing appearances and gossip to influence their opinions. The dramatic change in public perception becomes one of the story's most satisfying moments. Inside the Aries family, a new chapter begins. The members who remained loyal throughout the crisis are finally recognized for their honesty and dedication, while those responsible for betrayal are forced to face the consequences of their actions. Some lose their positions within the company, while others are held accountable for the damage they caused. The family chooses to move forward not through revenge, but through fairness, believing that lasting justice is more valuable than temporary punishment. The heroine is offered a powerful leadership role within the family business. Many expect her to celebrate her success with pride, yet she responds with quiet humility. She accepts the responsibility not because she desires power, but because she wants to rebuild the company on the principles of honesty, transparency, and respect. Her vision is simple: create a future where ability matters more than family status, wealth, or influence. One of her first decisions is to introduce changes that benefit both employees and the company as a whole. She rewards loyal workers who stood by the organization during difficult times, improves communication between departments, and encourages young professionals to share new ideas without fear of being ignored. These small but meaningful reforms quickly transform the workplace, creating an environment built on trust instead of fear. Meanwhile, the male lead continues standing beside her, not as someone seeking recognition, but as a true partner. Their relationship has grown through shared hardships rather than perfect circumstances, making it feel genuine and deeply earned. Instead of dramatic promises, they express their feelings through mutual support, honest conversations, and unwavering loyalty. Their love story becomes a reminder that the strongest relationships are built on trust rather than appearances. Several supporting characters also receive meaningful conclusions to their personal journeys. Some finally earn forgiveness after sincerely accepting responsibility for their mistakes. Others choose to leave the past behind and begin new lives, understanding that personal growth is impossible without honesty. Even the former rivals are forced to recognize the heroine's strength, admitting that they underestimated both her intelligence and her determination. The emotional heart of the story lies in the heroine's personal transformation. At the beginning of her journey, she quietly accepted unfair treatment because she believed revealing her identity would only create more problems. By the end, she has learned that protecting the truth sometimes requires courage instead of silence. She discovers that genuine confidence does not come from family wealth or public recognition, but from believing in herself even when no one else does. The series also delivers an important message about justice. Throughout the story, the heroine never allows hatred to control her actions. Although she has every reason to seek revenge, She consistently chooses honesty over cruelty and fairness over anger. This decision ultimately becomes the reason she succeeds where so many others fail. Her greatest victory is not defeating her enemies, but refusing to become like them. Visually, the final episodes continue presenting elegant locations, impressive business events, and beautifully designed family estates. However, unlike the beginning of the story, these luxurious settings now symbolize hope rather than hidden conflict. The company that was once divided by deception gradually becomes united by shared purpose, reflecting the heroine's determination to build a better future. As the story approaches its final moments, the heroine visits a quiet place where she once dreamed about changing her life. Standing there, she reflects on every challenge she has overcome, the betrayals that tested her patience, the loneliness that strengthened her character, and the difficult decisions that shaped her future. She realizes that every painful experience taught her something valuable, preparing her for the responsibilities she now carries. The final gathering of the Aries family is filled with optimism instead of tension. The people who once argued over power now focus on rebuilding trust and protecting the future together. While not every wound has completely healed, there is finally hope that honesty and unity will guide the family forward. The heroine is welcomed not simply because of her name, but because she has earned everyone's respect through her actions. The closing scenes leave viewers with a sense of satisfaction and inspiration. The woman who was once ignored, underestimated, and humiliated has become a symbol of resilience, intelligence, and quiet strength. Her journey proves that real success is never achieved through revenge or arrogance, but through patience, courage, and unwavering integrity. In the end, Back Off, The Heiress Returns delivers a memorable story filled with hidden identities, emotional conflicts, family rivalries, romance, and meaningful character growth. More importantly, it reminds viewers that no matter how many obstacles stand in the way, the truth eventually finds its voice. Those who judge others by appearances often discover their mistake too late, while those who remain true to themselves ultimately find both respect and happiness. The story closes on a hopeful note, leaving the audience with the belief that courage, kindness, and determination will always outshine deception, making this journey both entertaining and emotionally rewarding from beginning to end. The story enters its final stretch with the heroine standing stronger than ever before. The difficult journey that once seemed impossible has completely changed her life. She is no longer the quiet young woman who silently accepted humiliation and disrespect. Every challenge she faced has shaped her into a confident leader capable of making difficult decisions without losing her kindness or integrity. Although many of her enemies have already been exposed, she understands that the final chapter of her journey is not about defeating people. It is about rebuilding trust, protecting her family, and creating a future where the same mistakes can never happen again. Following the dramatic revelations, the Aries family begins the difficult process of restoring its reputation. The scandal caused by betrayal and corruption has left deep scars on the company as well as on personal relationships. Employees remain uncertain about the future, business partners hesitate before signing new agreements, and the media continues watching every move made by the family. Instead of avoiding these challenges, the heroine decides to face them openly. She believes that honesty is the only way to regain the confidence of everyone affected by the crisis. One of her first priorities is meeting with the company's employees. Rather than delivering a formal speech filled with promises, she chooses a more personal approach. She thanks everyone who remained loyal during the difficult period and openly acknowledges the uncertainty they experienced. She assures them that the company will now operate with complete transparency and that every employee will be judged by ability and dedication rather than personal connections. Her sincere words inspire confidence, and many workers begin believing that a better future is finally possible. At the same time, several important investors request private meetings with the Aries family. They want reassurance that the company is stable and capable of moving forward after such a serious scandal. The heroine presents a detailed recovery plan focused on honesty, responsible leadership, and long-term growth. Instead of hiding past mistakes, she openly discusses them and explains the changes already being implemented. Her honesty surprises the investors, and many of them decide to continue supporting the company because they see genuine determination instead of empty promises. Meanwhile, the people responsible for the conspiracy begin facing the legal and personal consequences of their actions. Some attempt to negotiate in hopes of reducing their punishment, while others continue denying responsibility despite overwhelming evidence. Watching them struggle to escape accountability reminds everyone that dishonesty may provide temporary success, but it can never guarantee lasting victory. The heroine chooses not to celebrate their downfall. Instead, she quietly focuses on building something better rather than dwelling on the past. The relationship between the heroine and the male lead also enters a peaceful stage. After surviving countless misunderstandings and dangerous situations together, they no longer need to prove their loyalty. Their trust has been tested repeatedly, and every challenge has strengthened their connection. They support each other's dreams, encourage one another during difficult moments, and share a vision of building a future based on honesty rather than power or social status. Their relationship feels mature because it grows from mutual respect instead of dramatic misunderstandings. Family relationships also continue healing. Elder family members finally recognize how unfairly the heroine was treated when she chose to hide her identity. They apologize for failing to understand her decisions and acknowledge the sacrifices she made to protect both the family and the company. While the pain of the past cannot disappear overnight, these sincere conversations begin repairing emotional wounds that had remained open for many years. The atmosphere inside the family gradually changes from suspicion to cooperation. As the company starts recovering, the heroine introduces several important reforms. She creates new policies designed to improve accountability, encourages younger employees to contribute fresh ideas, and establishes stronger systems to prevent corruption in the future. Rather than relying on old traditions alone, she believes that lasting success requires continuous improvement. Her leadership style quickly earns admiration because she listens before making decisions and values teamwork over personal recognition. The story also highlights the emotional growth of several supporting characters. Friends who once doubted the heroine now become some of her strongest supporters. Former rivals admit that they misjudged her because they allowed pride and jealousy to influence their opinions. Even those who cannot completely repair their past mistakes gain valuable lessons about responsibility and humility. These personal transformations add depth to the conclusion, showing that growth is possible for anyone willing to accept the truth. Outside the business world, the heroine finally experiences moments of peace she had not enjoyed for a long time. She spends time with loved ones without constantly worrying about hidden enemies or dangerous secrets. Simple conversations, family dinners, and quiet evenings become reminders that happiness often comes from ordinary moments rather than extraordinary achievements. For the first time since the story began, she is able to look toward the future with genuine optimism. The drama also reminds viewers that true success is not measured by wealth, popularity, or public recognition. The heroine already belonged to one of the most influential families, yet none of that protected her from betrayal or loneliness. What ultimately changed her life was her determination to remain honest, patient, and courageous even when everything seemed against her. Her journey proves that character is far more valuable than status, and that real strength is revealed during life's most difficult moments. As the final scenes approach, the company hosts a celebration marking the beginning of a new chapter. Employees, business partners, and family members gather together, not to celebrate victory over others, but to recognize the resilience that carried them through difficult times. Looking around the room, the heroine realizes that the people standing beside her are no longer connected only by family ties or business interests. They are united by shared experiences and a commitment to building a better future. The closing moments leave viewers with a powerful message of hope. The young woman who once lived in the shadows has finally embraced her true identity without fear. She no longer needs to prove her worth because her actions have already spoken louder than any title ever could. Her remarkable journey reminds us that patience, wisdom, and integrity always leave a lasting impact. Even when the road is filled with betrayal and hardship, those who remain true to themselves eventually find both justice and happiness. As one chapter of her life comes to a close, another filled with new opportunities, stronger relationships, and endless possibilities is only just beginning. The final chapter brings every major storyline together in a satisfying and emotional conclusion. After months of uncertainty, hidden identities, painful betrayals, and fierce business competition, the heroine finally reaches the moment she has been fighting for since the very beginning. She no longer needs to hide who she is or remain silent while others judge her unfairly. The truth has finally been revealed, and everyone can clearly see the difference between the lies they believed and the reality that stood before them all along. With the conspiracy completely exposed, the company slowly returns to stability. Business partners regain their confidence, investors begin supporting new projects, and employees once again believe in the future of the organization. The atmosphere that was once filled with suspicion and fear is gradually replaced by hope and determination. Instead of celebrating the downfall of her enemies, the heroine focuses all of her attention on rebuilding what was damaged. She believes that creating a better future is far more meaningful than holding on to the pain of the past. The members of the Aries family also begin writing a new chapter in their lives. The misunderstandings that divided them for so long are finally replaced with honest conversations and mutual respect. Although some relationships require time to heal completely, everyone now understands the importance of trust and unity. The family realizes that true strength comes from standing together during difficult times rather than allowing greed and pride to create unnecessary conflict. The heroine's leadership continues inspiring those around her. She introduces new ideas that encourage fairness, transparency, and equal opportunity throughout the company. Employees who were once afraid to express their opinions now feel comfortable sharing their ideas, knowing they will be judged by their abilities instead of their background or social status. Her approach creates a healthier environment where cooperation replaces competition and respect replaces fear. Meanwhile, the relationship between the heroine and the male lead reaches a beautiful conclusion. Their journey has never been based on wealth or appearances, but on loyalty, patience, and mutual understanding. Together, they have overcome misunderstandings, dangerous situations, and emotional hardships that could have separated them forever. Instead, every challenge strengthened their bond. They now look toward the future with confidence, knowing that their greatest strength lies in facing every obstacle side by side. Several supporting characters also receive meaningful endings. Those who sincerely regret their mistakes are given an opportunity to rebuild their lives, proving that personal growth is possible when people accept responsibility for their actions. Others who continue choosing dishonesty are left to face the consequences of their own decisions. The story makes it clear that every choice carries responsibility and that lasting success can never be built on deception. As peace slowly returns, the heroine finally allows herself to enjoy the simple moments she sacrificed for so long. She spends time with her family without fear, shares quiet conversations with the people she loves, and begins living the life she once believed was impossible. These peaceful scenes remind viewers that happiness is often found in ordinary moments rather than dramatic victories or material success. Looking back on everything she experienced, the heroine realizes that every painful challenge shaped her into the person she has become. The betrayals taught her wisdom. The humiliation strengthened her confidence. The loneliness gave her resilience. Most importantly, the truth she protected for so long became the very reason she earned the respect of everyone around her. She never allowed hatred to control her heart, and that decision became her greatest achievement. The drama closes with a powerful message about courage and self-worth. It reminds viewers that people should never judge others based on appearance, reputation, or temporary circumstances. True character is revealed through kindness, integrity, patience, and the courage to do what is right even when no one is watching. The heroine proves that real power is not found in wealth or family status, but in the choices people make when facing adversity. Visually, the ending reflects this emotional transformation. The luxurious settings that once represented hidden conflicts now symbolize fresh beginnings and new opportunities. The grand family estate becomes a place of reunion instead of division, while the company that once struggled with betrayal now stands as a symbol of renewal and hope. Every scene reinforces the idea that even the deepest wounds can heal when people choose honesty over deception. As the final moments arrive, the heroine looks toward the future with quiet confidence. She has achieved justice without losing her compassion, reclaimed her identity without becoming arrogant, and protected the people she loves without sacrificing her own values. The journey that began with loneliness and misunderstanding ends with respect, trust, and a future filled with endless possibilities. Overall, this story delivers far more than romance or revenge. It is a journey about discovering inner strength, overcoming betrayal, and proving that perseverance always shines brighter than deception. Every challenge, every sacrifice, and every emotional moment contributes to a conclusion that feels rewarding and inspiring. Viewers are left with the reminder that truth may take time to emerge, but once it does, it has the power to transform lives forever. With that, the remarkable journey comes to an end. The heroine who once lived in the shadows now walks confidently into a brighter future, surrounded by people who finally recognize her true worth. Her story leaves behind an unforgettable lesson. Never underestimate someone simply because they choose humility over pride. In the end, honesty, courage, and determination will always overcome lies, making this an uplifting conclusion to a memorable journey.